Item: SCP-561. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-561 has an unidentified center, but its known area of effect covers several square kilometers of Canadian wilderness, near the abandoned town of Saskatchewan. It is currently listed as a nature preserve, and the entire area is fenced in with guards posted and patrolling outside the chain link borders. The fence is to be a minimum of 3 meters, 10 feet in height, with both barbed wire loops and an electrified wire along the top. Intruders are to be taken into custody, stripped of all recording and photographic devices, and interrogated to determine what anomalies have been observed. Authorization is granted to use any class of amnestic when deemed necessary. If intruders are injured by any of the products of SCP-561, they may be airlifted to the nearest hospital and provided with a bear attack cover story. The products of SCP-561 may only be moved by authorized personnel to whatever site is necessary for testing. Any products of SCP-561 found outside the fence perimeter may be terminated on site unless they are accompanied by appropriate personnel, or are part of Group N. See Addendum 561-1. Description: although SCP-561 itself is unseen, evidence of animal remains in the area suggests that it has been in place since at least 20. SCP-561 has so far proven to be directly undetectable, producing no electromagnetic or gravitational anomalies. Due to this, SCP-561's exact area of effect is unknown. A rough guess of its boundaries has been extrapolated from the appearance of its products. SCP-561 changes the reproductive results of nearly all living things within its radius, causing them to produce offspring from species extant in the Pliocene epoch, the time period just before the most recent ice age. This effect extends to plants and animals alike, including humans. It should be said that the area around SCP-561 is not yet noticeably different from most other North American forested areas. The flora show slight alterations only, due to the long generation time of larger plants. The area's fauna show a steady increase in alteration as time goes on. At this time, any animal life conceived in the radius of SCP-561 has a fair chance of producing Pliocene-era offspring. Testing to see which Pliocene species are produced as offspring from modern species has yielded impressive, if sometimes unusual, results. It appears that evolutionary relationships are not preserved by the anomaly, as offspring may be on separate branches of a phylogenetic tree. The strongest predictor of the species of the offspring is morphological similarity to the parent. DNA testing has shown no genetic inheritance from parents and the altered offspring, as though the female were only a host mother. The direct comparison of DNA from SCP-561 affected offspring to their Pliocene counterparts has not yet occurred, due to difficulties in obtaining genetic samples directly from Pliocene-era life using Foundation assets such as SCP. Testing with samples of DNA taken from fossils dating to the Pliocene era has proceeded in the interim. Current results suggest that affected offspring may be assigned to Pliocene-era species, not novel species, with 99% confidence. It appears that prokaryotic life is unaltered by the anomaly. After nearly 50,000 generations cultured of E. coli, no mutations or changes to DNA have occurred which cannot be attributed to normal genetic drift. Surprisingly, the ecology of the area has adapted well to the appearance of precursor species. This may be a result of the morphological selection displayed by the anomaly, or may be otherwise unrelated. It is not uncommon to see deer the size of moose with large antler racks, or saber-toothed cats hunting. Photographs from the area of SCP-561 reveal cougars nursing their own cubs alongside Smilodon cubs from the same litter. and similar occurrences. Avian species do not seem to experience obvious alteration. Animal husbandry, a precursor species, has been approved. See Addendum 561-2.